So, what did I think of Star Trek Picard Episode 3? In this episode, we have Captain Picard doing his final preparations in order to head off for space. Obviously, he was rejected. That was less than professional, disrespectful. Man, I hate her more than I hated Nechayev from TNG and DS9. I mean, if you hated Nechayev, oh my goodness. This Admiral in one scene accomplished what Nechayev has not in all her scenes, and creating a super deep hatred I have for this character. Kudos to the actor for pulling it off. So we see Picard trying to assemble his crew, but we start off in the first scene with a 14-year flashback where basically we see how Picard was rejected by Starfleet, and he gave them an ultimatum of that they can either agree to the Armada to save the Romulans, or he's going to resign. They accepted his resignation, and we also, and obviously Rafi's, supporting him, etc. You also see these new uniforms. They look different from the current day uniforms of the show, which is actually nice, seeing a change of pace. I thought it would have been nice to just have the old gray uniforms from Nemesis, but hey, this is fine. I like that they put the effort in, at least they're trying in this case. So I enjoyed those. And I also noticed the subtle de-aging CGI. I'm not 100% sure, but Patrick Stewart did look a little bit younger, and it was very subtle and very well done. So kudos to the effects team, and kudos to them for pulling that off. I really enjoyed that. I think with this type of technology, we can definitely do a lot in terms of storytelling with Patrick Stewart when it comes to Q. Maybe Q giving his youth back or something. I don't know. That would be pretty cool. But anyways, and in the present day, we come back and we see Picard back at Rafi's house at her house, and what we notice is that she's obviously pissed at Picard because she got fired from Starfleet, but at the same time, I'm just asking, why is she mad at JL? Oh yeah, and she calls him JL instead of Jean-Luc, or it's just super cringe in my opinion. JL, because they're very familiar with each other. Why is she mad at JL? Because it's not his fault she got fired. She lost her security clearance, got fired from Starfleet, but it's really not his fault. You know what I mean? Like, this is on Starfleet. Starfleet just seems to be full of dicks now, and just modern day humans. Like, what's going on? And also, we'll see a scene in this scene, Picard trying to convince her to help him find a pilot, etc. And Rafi, just saying how, like, after I got fired, you just like left. You didn't even try to contact me when I needed you. That's one of the reasons she was pissed at him. But at the same time, girl, you could have contacted him. You know what I mean? So it's just saying. And we see Rafi smoking, which is kind of weird and a little bit off-putting to me, especially in Trek. We established like they don't really do all that unhealthy stuff. You know what I mean? And I guess they're trying to be hip and cool and modern, but let's not be too modern. Can we be futuristic, please? I don't know, just certain little things throughout the episode that just kind of like took me out, like, oh god, they're trying to be like today's humans. Anyways, we also go into a Borg scene after this, where we see Hugh, the actor that played Hugh, he's back, which is kind of cool. When I was closing my eyes and just listening to his voice, I'm like, yep, that's Hugh from Star Trek TNG. The first liberated Borg. 7 out of 9 was not the first liberated Borg, just to let you know. But anyways, we see him. He's the executive director of this Borg ship run by the Romulans, of liberating the Borg, getting the resources. He talks with Daj's sister. Damn, what was her name? I'm terrible with names. I'll get her name next time. I'm too lazy to look it up. You know what? Let me just look it up real quick. So anyway, as I looked that up, I just have to say that these scenes in the Borg cube, I found them boring for the most part. I felt myself skipping or just like not focused for them. Just not focused for them. Oh, her name is Soji, excuse me. So yeah, Issa Briones, she plays Daj and Soji. daughters of the late, again, daughters, it's just weird. Like, what happened to Law? Couldn't they just use her again? Anyways, I found those scenes a little bit boring. We have a couple of notes from this scene. We see Soji interacting with this Romulan X-Pack of a Borg. She used to be a Borg, and she starts mumbling all this crazy stuff about how Saji's the death of all. One of the sisters gonna die, one of them is gonna live, blah blah blah. And she almost tries to kill her. Obviously, she does not succeed, and then she tries to kill herself, and she gets shot. And that situation gets handled. Hugh is there as well in that scene. I don't know. I was just bored by these scenes. Like, this episode was. I feel like this setup could have been done in 1 or 2 episodes. I feel like I was just bored, and you know, like I said, I'm really enjoying seeing Captain Picard. I really enjoy seeing Jean-Luc Picard again. I love that character. I love Patrick Stewart, and I love Star Trek: The Next Generation, which is why I'm watching this. Right, like I mentioned before, that's one of the things I enjoy. I just love seeing Picard. When I see him, my face lights up. But anyways, Soji is basically asking her mom at a later scene that, hey, you know, how's Daj, you know, how's she doing, you know, because after that little prophecy situation, and her mom's like, oh yeah, you know, she's fine, you know, blah 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 blah, she's good. And then she just faints. Soji just faints, and she wakes up with the Romulan guy slash his agent for the secret agents of the Romulan Empire, and he just asks her what happened, and they have a conversation that's forgettable. And he meets with his sister, and he has this weird section, like this weird scene that just seems a little bit inappropriate for brother and sister. Anyways, whatever. They have a scene, and he's like, I don't think she's a threat. We have to see and wait, blah blah blah. And we also see Captain Picard in other scenes trying to convince this captain dude who's disenchanted, but I think he's a former Starfleet officer, and Picard's like, look how neat you keep your ship, you have it in you. There's also a EMH. There's an EMH that looks just like him, but with like different hair, which is a little bit weird. I thought, so when they talk about synths, what are they talking about? Are they talking about just like humanoid synths, like humanoid, like physical androids, not holograms, not light projections, but actual? Or they talk, because synths, like, or they referring generally for all AI, because if they ban synths, I kind of thought the EMH was going to be banned too, because they're even more dangerous than the synths. You know, you see the logic here. Like, if the synths are so dangerous, AI are dangerous. Or again, they have to be a bit more clear on this for me. How do they keep EMH? Because EMH are even more dangerous. They can go through the vacuum of space, no problem. They can beam right through it, you know. But the physical androids cannot. So that's my question. Or what about the XComs? You remember those from the episode where Data discovered them to be getting smarter? Whatever happened to those? Did those get banned too? I'm just curious how Starfleet even operates. How do they do their mining? And anyways, I don't know. I just wish they were. I'm gonna assume it's just Data type androids, Soong type androids. They banned because it just raises a whole lot of questions for me, and just a lot of incongruities. It's just weird for us, like it's just weird. You know, you can make the argument about, I suppose, it's just physical androids, but and just specific humanoid androids. Maybe it's the XCOM example. I don't know. But anyways, moving on. He eventually manages to convince him near the end, but he's also attacked at his Chateau Picard by these Romulan agents of the Tal Shiar, and the 2 Romulan work people with him, they fight them off, and Picard manages to shoot one. It's just and then randomly Dr. Agnes ends up, Jurati comes in and shoots one of them, and she's like, oh, I hope this son's done. And she's like, and then the lady Romulan home lady, she's like, the Romulan disruptors don't have a stun setting. But anyways, Dr. Jurati basically asked Picard to come along because she didn't. And she's like, I can be definitely useful. I definitely want to meet this other synth twin person, and I'm the leading expert in cybernetics. Blah blah blah. And she joins Picard, and once Picard goes back to the ship, which looks, I mean, I don't know. This ship doesn't feel Star Trek. You know what I mean? you look at some of the beautiful designs of the past from Enterprise D, the Defiant, the original Enterprise, you know, and you see these, it just feels weird. Like the design, it just feels too angular. It just feels like, I don't know, it just feels generic sci-fi. But anyways, whatever. He finds Rafi there, and Rafi's like, I'm not there to help you. I'm just there because I have my own thing that I have to do on this place, and I know where Bruce Maddox is. Bruce Maddox is on this place called Free Cloud. I'm assuming it's a planet. I originally assumed that it was some type of cloud service that was free, but I was wrong, I guess. So they're gonna head there, and we're gonna see where they are. But anyways, you know, this was this was a boring episode. I was bored. I was falling asleep. I was skipping the house and paying attention. I hope it gets better. I feel like, especially in this type of show, this streaming show, these limited series, they need to make every episode count. And they should have really thought this out. I feel like these writers are not thinking things out. They're just getting stuff from different sci-fi and just putting it into Star Trek and trying to be like 5 different shows at once. You know, they're trying to be Battlestar Galactica on one hand with the Android stuff. Anyways, I just hope it gets better. I'm watching it because of Jean-Luc. I'm gonna watch the rest of this because this might be the last time I see Picard on screen. I just wish they made it into an anthology series with the original cast and have the other cast from the original 90s shows like Voyager and DS9 back one last time. And we had Q involved. And anyways, yeah, I'll give this episode of Picard out of 10, a 4 out of 10, because I was just bored. Anyways, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.